Good morning, everyone. Well, as many of you probably already know, the new Star Wars teaser trailer came out yesterday at Star Wars Celebration in Chicago, and to say that I was excited about it is a complete and total understatement. I was blown away. I got the chills. I laughed. I cried hysterically. I was like, what? In fact, this is my reaction. I'll give you my reaction because I'm not going to play the video in this video. Everybody's done that. But this was my reaction exactly. Oh. Whoa! Ah! Ah! Oh! Yay! I'm crying. Oh no, Leia. What? Palpatine! That was my reaction exactly. That was it. That's exactly what I did. And then I cried hysterically. And then I played it for Mr. Hug. And I cried hysterically.
No reaction.
He had no reaction. Rick likes Star Wars, but he isn't like a crazy person like I am.
It's a nice movie.
It's a nice movie, yes. But I'm like I'm a lifelong, I've been on this journey my whole life. My whole life. Rick just called me a freak. That's fine. I don't care. I'll live with that. And here are some of my thoughts on what I saw in the teaser trailer. Okay, I wrote a bunch of notes down. In the opening scene, where we see Rey in the desert, where is that? Okay, I've heard a lot of people say, oh, it's probably Jakku. It might be Tatooine. It might even be Jeddah. We don't know, but my guess, my hunch, is that it's Tatooine. Because I think that what J.J. Abrams is going to do with this film is he's going to, because it's the end of the saga, right? He's going to take us back to all the places that were important in this 40-year journey through this saga, okay? So I think we're going to see Tatooine. We might even see Hoth. We might see Endor, or the Force Moon of Endor. We might see Yavin 4. Maybe even Naboo. You know, just all these different places that have helped to create this saga. I think he's going to take us back to some of those places, and I think there's a good reason for it. I think that Rey now understands the seriousness of her condition. You know, that the torch is being passed on to her, and like Luke, she hasn't gotten a lot of training, right? I mean, Luke went to Dagobah and got some training from Yoda, but what he got as far as training is concerned is nothing compared to what all the other Jedi before him got when they were taken as babies to the Jedi Academy, and they literally grew up eating, sleeping, drinking, breathing the Jedi principles and the Jedi wisdom. Luke never had that. So, and I think that that's why Luke went on the journey that he went on, looking for different bits and pieces of what was left of the Jedi wisdom to take to Ahch-To in the first place, right? Which he now passed on to Rey. Well, Rey is going to continue that search for the knowledge that was lost. But I also think that she's going to sort of take up the helm and mold the Light Force users in the way that Luke was foreseeing that maybe Force users should go, because like in The Last Jedi, you know, we realized that Luke came to the understanding that the Jedi had kind of lost their way, which is why they lost their galaxy to the Sith in the first place. You know, they got so wrapped up in bureaucracy and red tape that they failed to see, you know, the threat at hand. And I think that Luke wanted to take the Jedi Order back to a more pure and simplistic form. And I think that that's what Rey is going to do. So she's going to go around and she's going to collect artifacts and gather information. And I think that she's going to try to delve into Luke's life. You know, what was Luke, you know, who was Luke Skywalker? How did he get where he got? What do I need to do in order to not turn to the dark side and to be able to help others learn how to not turn to the dark side? And I think that that's what this journey is going to be. Yes, she's going to want to help the rebellion along with all of her friends, but I think that her personal journey is going to be about her spiritual growth within the Force. And I think that that's where J.J. Abrams is going to take Star Wars, and you know, how he's going to segue it into a whole new universe for us. So some other things about the video. What Luke said. We've passed on all we've passed on all we know. 1,000 generations live in you, but this is your fight. We'll always be with you. No one is ever really gone. And what I found interesting about what Luke said in that teaser trailer was, who is the we that we're talking about? And the conclusion that I've come to is, I think that the we that he's talking about are all the Force, is the Force itself. That the Force isn't just a single entity, but the Force is everything. And so when he's talking about we, he's talking about all of it. But he could also be talking about everyone else who has this ability to be a Force ghost. People who we've seen, like Ben and Yoda, Anakin, and maybe others like Qui-Gon or whoever else. Whoever else might be in there. Maybe everyone who's in the Force heaven is talking to one another as individuals and saying, hey, we have to guide this girl, we have to be with her and show her the way so that the balance can be restored to the, you know, to the galaxy, to the universe. I don't know. What do you guys think? Who are the we? I was really excited to see that Rey had fixed Luke's and Anakin's lightsaber. As soon as I saw that blue blade turn on, because I didn't catch it right away. I didn't catch that it was the lightsaber right away because I was too just like, you know. I actually watched I think I watched the trailer about 50 times yesterday. I did. But when I saw that blue blade turn on, I was like, woohoo, all right, she fixed it. You know, because really, and I've told Rick this, and Rick is like, you're nuts. But I've always kind of felt that ever since The Last Jedi, I've kind of felt like the Star Wars saga isn't about the Skywalkers, it's about this lightsaber. It's about the journey of this lightsaber from person to person and place to place and thing to thing. You know, it keeps showing up, it keeps coming back. So, but yeah, of course, that's me just being silly. I was really excited to see that Lando Calrissian is going to be in this movie. That makes me so happy. I love Lando. I've always loved his character. He's kind of like he described it at Celebrations as, he's kind of what's his name who builds the big buildings in Las Vegas? Steve Wynn, thank you. He kind of described himself as being like Steve Wynn, the Steve Wynn of Star Wars. You know, Lando goes around and he's an entrepreneur and he builds things and builds cities, and you know, that's what he does. And I've always loved his character. He's so charming and awesome. Oh, the Death Star too. The Death Star that we saw laying in the water. And a lot of people are like, well, what planet is this? What planet is this? You know, I'm leaning towards Yavin 4. Just again, because we seem to be going back to the places where the journey started. And, you know, like Tatooine was the starting point for both Anakin and Luke. And Yavin 4 is where the first Death Star was destroyed in the Battle of Yavin. So I'm leaning towards that, but it could be Endor. It could be, maybe there's another planet near Yavin 4 that's an ocean planet that the Death Star ended up landing on. It could be a whole new place, we don't know. So it'll be interesting to see what that's about. It'll be interesting to see if Palpatine is back. I don't know if he's back. I don't know if he's just going to be talking to her through the Force. Maybe it's going to be like the books and there's a clone of him out there. Maybe he possessed Snoke, and now that Snoke is dead, he's got to possess somebody else. We don't know, right? So that'll be interesting to see. I was glad to see that the whole team is going to be on an adventure together. I always thought that, especially during the original trilogy, I always felt like that was when Star Wars was the most exciting, is when the team was kind of together, you know, battling things out. I just love that dynamic, and I think that this team is also very good, and that'll be very fun and exciting. We saw that for whatever reason, somebody is putting Kylo Ren's helmet back together. That isn't Kylo Ren that's putting his helmet back together, because the hands are furry. So it's not Kylo Ren. I don't know who it is. Maybe it's Rocket from Guardians of the Galaxy. No! I don't know. I don't know who it is, but somebody's putting it back together. But it looks like it's being put back together with Kyber, like a Kyber solder. You know, you see it's all very red. So maybe he's going to have the helmet infused with a kyber crystal substance to like help him focus the Force. I don't know, make him a little stronger. Kind of seems that way. We saw the Medal of Bravery, somebody holding it. I'm guessing it was Leia. I don't know if it's Han's Medal of Bravery or Han's. Why did I say Han's? Han's. If it was Han's or if it was Luke's, I don't know, but it was one of them. So again, we're revisiting the past. Oh, and also one last thing. We see Poe and Finn and C-3PO on a vehicle, and they're being shot at, and it kind of looks like a sand barge, doesn't it? So again, that's another reason why I'm thinking that opening scene might be on Tatooine. So anyways, those are my thoughts. Tell me what you think if you're a Star Wars fan. If you're not a Star Wars fan, whatever. I love you guys. Thanks for watching. Take care and goodbye.